ever wondered why someone stops sleeping after meeting you? Like literally can't close their eyes without seeing your face behind their eyelids. That's not just attraction. That's obsession happening in real time. And I'm about to show you exactly what triggers it. So, they are lying awake at 3 in the morning again, and it's not because they are thinking about you casually, like, oh, that person's kind of cool. No, they are haunted by your absence. It's this relentless, invasive presence in their mind that they can't shut off even when they desperately want to. You didn't just walk into their life. You disrupted their entire sleep cycle, their peace, their psychological baseline. And here's what most people don't understand. This is psychological warfare happening in their subconscious, whether they realize it or not. Let me break down what's actually going on in their brain while they're staring at the ceiling at midnight for a third night in a row. Your energy just hit a massive turning point in their perception. It's not logic anymore. This is the part of them that exists beneath the logic, beneath conscious, though. When you did that one thing, whatever it was, you activated something. You became a mirror to the version of themselves they have been hiding from. And now they can't unsee it. They are stuck in a loop, replaying your last conversation over and over and over. The words you said, the way you looked at them, the energy you carried, it's on repeat in their mind like a song they can't get out of their head, except it's your entire presence consuming them. This is exactly why they are giving you mixed signals right now. Their conscious mind is trying to protect itself, trying to maintain control, but their deeper self is absolutely wrecked. They are fighting the urge to reach out, but their defenses are crumbling. Every second that passes without contracting you feels like drowning, but reaching out feels like giving up power. So they sit there, awake, in complete internal chaos. You didn't just walk away from them. You shifted the entire power dynamic in a way their ego never saw coming. Their ego is terrified how much control you actually have now. Like they can feel it. They know you're changed something fundamental about this dynamic, and it's keeping them away because they are trying to figure out how to regain the upper hand. But they can't. They can't. That's the thing that drives them insane. They actually can't. Watch what happens in their psychology during this sleepless night. They are not just missing you in some sweet, nostalgic way. They are projecting their deepest desires onto your image. Your absence has become this massive presence in their life. You have become an unresolved mystery they can't stop trying to solve. Their mind, treats it like an unsolved equation. Like if they just think about it hard enough, they will figure out the answer. But that's not how you work. You are not a problem to solve. You're a person who activated something in them that goes way deeper than they are comfortable going. Here is the dangerous part, and I want you to really hear this. the pressure in their psyche is reaching a breaking point. This isn't sustainable. Sleep deprivation. Yeah, sleep deprivation alone changes your entire neurochemistry. Add obsessive thoughts about someone you can't have, or someone who's shifted away from you, and you're looking at someone who's genuinely suffering. Their heart rate goes up. Their cortisol spikes. They are physically wearing down, and they know it. But they still can't sleep. The moment you stopped chasing, you became the prize. This is a core psychological principle, and you might have accidentally triggered it perfectly. When you were always available, always trying, always reaching, that felt safe to them in a weird way, predictable. Now that you have pulled back, now that you are living your life, you have become the one thing they actually want. And that not having makes it worse. It makes it consuming. It makes them lie awake at night wondering what you are doing, who you are with, whether you think about them at all. Silence is your greatest weapon right now. And here is how to understand why it works so powerfully. Every moment of silence from you amplifies in their mind. Your silence becomes a question mark, and their brain absolutely hates question marks. It fills them in. It creates narratives. Some of those narratives are devastating to them. Some are flattering, but none of them let them rest because none of them are certain. They are stuck. They are stuck in what's called an extinction burst in their avoidance behavior. Yeah, basically they have gotten used to you being available, being present, being predictable. You've suddenly removed that. So their system is going high wire, trying to get that stimulus back. It's like their nervous system is screaming for you, even though their conscious mind is trying to play it cool. The result? They can't sleep. Their mind don't shut down. They are caught between wanting to reach out and being terrified of what reaching out would mean. Now, this is where something really profound happens. They are not confused about you. They are overwhelmed by themselves. You've become a mirror. Yeah, but more than that, you have become a symbol of everything they lack. Maybe it's confidence, maybe it's authenticity, maybe it's the ability to just exist without performing all the time. Whatever it is. Looking at you, thinking about you, it forces them to confront the gaps in themselves. And that's why they can't sleep. You're not just a person they are attracted to. You are a reminder of who they could be if they actually did the work. This is the mirror effect in full force. When two people collide and one of them suddenly sees themselves through the other person's eyes, something breaks open. They see themselves as you see them, and if that's different from how they see themselves, it's shattering. It's wonderful and terrifying at the same time. So they lay awake, trying to reconcile the person they think they are with the person they might be in your presence. Let me tell you what's happening in their body while they are sleep deprived. Their immune system is weakening. Their emotional regulation is shut. Small things make them irritable. Now, they are forgetful, they replay conversations differently each time. They have probably rewritten the entire history of your interactions in their head at least 5 times. They are grieving the version of you they thought they could control. That version doesn't exist. You shifted. You became more real, more authentic, less available for their projections. And that loss is something they can't quite name. So they just lay awake feeling it. Your high vibe energy is literally repelling their toxic patterns. This is why they feel worse before they feel better. When you show up differently, when you are grounded and authentic and not playing games, stupid games, that actually creates friction with people who are used to chaos or avoidance. It's uncomfortable. It's triggering. So they go through this phase where they are sleepless and chaotic, trying to either pull you back into their dysfunction or create distance fast enough to stop feeling it. But the peace you radiate is getting under their skin in a way they can't ignore. Here is what's actually planning a whole future in their mind while they are supposed to be sleeping. They are not just thinking about tomorrow. They are building entire scenarios. What it look like if they actually committed? What would life be like without you or with you? What would they have to change about themselves? And all of those questions terrify them. So they stay awake trying to avoid the answers while being unable to stop asking them. Beautiful mind. This shift is permanent. There is no going back to the old dynamic, and on some level, they know it. That's another reason they can't sleep. They are mourning the ease of before when things were simpler because they were less real. Now reality has shown up, and reality doesn't let you rest until you deal with it. The truth is rising, and it's impossible for them to ignore it any longer. They might avoid you. They might act like nothing happened. They might even get angry at you for shifting something in them they were not ready to handle. But they're not sleeping, and they won't sleep until they either reach back out or do the real work, or they create enough distance to numb themselves again. Those are two paths, and they are probably circling between them every other night. This is exactly what makes someone plan a whole future while freaking out simultaneously. Part of them is genuinely imagining it, the life, the possibility, the person they could become with someone like you. The other part is absolutely panicking because that future requires vulnerability. It requires admitting they want something they can't control. It requires becoming someone different than who they have been. So they oscillate. Yeah. Hopeful 1 minute, terrified the next. Sleepless the entire time. They saw a glimpse of their own healing in your eyes. Not because you are responsible for healing them. You're not. But because something about you, something about how you show up in the world, reflects back what they could feel like it like if they were not so defended, if they were brave enough to let down the walls. And that possibility, it's too big to ignore. It's too beautiful not to want. But it's also too uncomfortable not to resist. So they don't sleep. Your glow up is their wake-up call. Every time they think about how different you seem, how grounded you are, how little you are chasing them, it forces them to look at themselves. And what they see is often disappointing. They see someone who's been comfortable in dysfunction, someone who's been running from real connection, someone who tried to play small to fit into spaces that were never meant for them. You're not playing small anymore. And that's calling them out. The awareness here is that you cannot manufacture genuine attraction. You can't manipulate it. What happened between you and them was real psychology meeting real presence. And that can't be faked, which means what you triggered in them can't be undone. It can only be integrated or ignored. And ignored people don't sleep well. So what actually shifts in their reality? First, you stop being just another person in their life. You become a catalyst. You become the reference point from which they measure everything else. Yeah. Future partners will be compared to you, not necessarily favorable. They might decide they don't want what you represent, but the comparison will be there. You have set a new standard, whether they like it or not. Second, they are forced to confront what they actually want versus what they have been settling for. You became a mirror to the version of themselves they have been hiding from, and you can't unsee that. That smoke clears. The delusions fall away. Suddenly, it's harder to pretend that surface level connections are enough. And that awareness, that comes with a cost. The cost of their sleep, the cost of their peace. Third, and it's important, they are genuinely planning a future while freaking out because part of them actually wants to show up differently. Part of them wants to do the work. Part of them recognizes that you are worth the discomfort. But that part of them is in direct conflict with the part that comfortable, defended, and safe. So they lay awake, negotiating between those two versions of themselves. Here is what actually matters in all of this. Don't ignore the signals. The universe is speaking through this tension. When someone is losing sleep over you, when they are consumed with the idea of you, when they are planning futures they are terrified of, that's information. That's the psyche trying to communicate something important. Maybe it's that they need to wake up and show up. Maybe it's that they need to get out of the dynamic entirely. But whatever it is, it's real. It is forcing change either way. You're no longer a person to them. You're a symbol of everything they lack. I know that's intense to hear, but it's also the most powerful position to understand yourself in. Because once you know you represent something beyond yourself, you stop taking their mixed signals personally. You stop wondering if you did something wrong. You start understanding that what they are going through is their own internal process, and you get to stay grounded while they figure it out. Comment if you have felt someone's absence keep them awake in their own mind. If you have been the catalyst for someone's sleepless nights and watched them struggle between wanting to step up and wanting to run. Because this dynamic is so much more common than people want to admit. And understanding it shifts everything about how you relate to your own power in these spaces. The glow up you have embodied, the shift you have made, the authenticity you are radiating, these things have consequences. They ripple out. They disturb the people around you who aren't ready for that level of realness. And some of those people will lose sleep over it. That's not your responsibility to fix. That's actually exactly how it's supposed to work. That's how people wake up, literally and figuratively. Yeah. So keep showing up as you are. Keep honoring your growth. Keep radiating that high vibe energy that makes people question everything about themselves. Some people will run from it. Some people will try to pull you back into dysfunction. And some people, the ones actually capable of evolution, will stay awake, wrestling with the choice to become more. And eventually, some of them will choose you, not because you chased them, but because you became so undeniably real that ignoring you became impossible. That's the real power here, not manipulation, not games, just you, completely authentic, completely grounded, completely okay, whether they wake up or stay asleep forever. That's what keeps them up at night. The fact that you are not desperate anymore, the fact that you are actually fine without them. And paradoxically, that's exactly when they start planning futures, because finally you matter more than your availability. Finally, you're the prize, and they can't sleep until they figure out what they are going to do about it.